Hello learners. In our previous discussions, we discussed the responsive information service, and this is the part 2 of the information services in academic and research libraries. In the previous discussion, we discussed there are various type of responsive services and how the libraries provide information responsive information services to the users. But this discussion is all about the anticipatory information services. So, we will only focus on anticipatory information services and how we can provide it, what kind of anticipatory information services are being provided in academic and research libraries. But before that, we should also discuss the type of information need, that though that we have discussed in our last talk also, but we need to understand to provide an anticipatory information services in academic and research libraries as well. So, we need to understand the type of information needs. There are various type of information needs. For instance, the researchers need the current information needs. Users need to keep themselves up to date with latest development in their field. You need information on regular basis to flow the current updates in their own field and allied areas. The researcher has to follow the updates on research topics, so that latest information can be added in the report. This helps the researchers to do the better research. Actually, this current information needs is the researcher need to understand what is new coming in their field or in their allied field related to their research topic or the study which they have been doing. So, all current updates they need require. So, current information needs everybody requires. So, they need to understand what is coming new in their subject in or allied subject. So, this is one type of information needs of the users in the academic and research libraries. Another type of information needs of the users are the exhaustive information needs. Exhaustive information needs means they need a complete information about a particular topic or the related topic. They need a complete maximum information about the topic, because when they will have a maximum of complete information, then only they can conduct a comprehensive research in the area. So, exhaustive information needs, researcher need the information relating to his topic of a study as exhaustive as possible, means as complete as possible. This help the researchers to comprehend his research topic better. This type of information need generally arise while doing the literature review to get the maximum literature published on the topic of the study. Besides this, exhaustive information need also arises while reporting the finding and writing the final report of the studies. So, this exhaustive information needs while starting an information research on a particular topic, we conduct a literature review. So, literature means whatever I have published so far on that topic, we culled out from various databases, we culled out from various libraries, we take it and then we compile and we write a literature review that this has been done so far in this area. So, every researcher has their exhaustive information need, and this exhaustive information need is sometimes required by a common man while taking a day to day decision. For instance, if a common man want to buy something from the market, for instance a smartphone, and he need a complete information, what are the smartphone available in the market, what are their prices, what are the features this smartphone has. So, when the common man has a complete information, exhaustive information need they also have. When they will have complete information, then only they can decide which smartphone they should buy from the market, and that help them to take a better decision. So, this is exhaustive information need. Another type of information need is everyday information needs. This type of information is required by the user on day to day basis relating to his research work. The researcher may face any inhibit in doing his research work and need information on day to day basis. Therefore, such information is required day to day basis. Everyday information needs range from spelling of word, name of equipment, contact number of vendor of the equipments, and so on and so forth. So, everyday information needs is that. For instance, a researcher is working in a laboratory, and while working in a laboratory he faces some certain problems. He doesn't understand at what level one particular algae or what particular species need to freeze. So, he need informations. He sometimes he get information from the library, sometimes he get information from various other sources, internet or colleagues. So, everyday information needs is also required by the researcher, that is also their need. Another type of information need is catching up information needs. Sometimes user need information relating to the allied subject in a short and comprehensive form. Due to shortage of time, he has to comprehend the subject in a brief within a shortest possible time. Therefore, this type of information need is fall in the category of catching up information needs. For instance, I am giving you an example. I am working on a legal information system. For instance, I understand the legal information. I also understand the information system, but I do not understand what particular law which is recently passed by the parliament. So, I need to understand. I need to catch up that information. So, sometime I will take help of another one of my colleague, or I will take the help of library, or I will take the help of various information sources to understand that particular law. So, that is called the catching up information need. So, these are the 4 type of information needs of the researcher or common man. A common man in a public library, a researcher in research libraries, and beside these 4 type, there is also another type of information needs or journal reading needs or need for informal informations. So, that is another 2 categories, 2 types of information needs. So, on base of their information needs, because we need to understand what are the information needs of the users, whether it is a researcher or common man, and then library provide the services based on their information needs. Because there is a very difference between a library and a storehouse is that library provide a better services. Its main functioning is depend on the services. Library is, whether it is a good library or bad library, we can only judge on the basis of the services they provide to its clienteles. We cannot judge library on the basis of the building. We cannot judge library on the basis of huge infrastructure they have, but if the library does not provide the accurate robust services to their client, we will not judge it a better library. Therefore, services are very important, that services are the key of the success of any library, and library provide 2 type of services. First is responsive information service that we have already discussed in part 1, and another type of information service is called anticipatory information services, which we are going to discuss in detail in this discussion. So, what is anticipatory information service that you need to understand? So, anticipatory reference service are provided to the users in anticipation of demand for the service. In this type of service, the user information requirement are analyzed and services are designed suiting to their need. So, that is the anticipatory information services, means we provide information services on the anticipation that some user requires some certain information, and we deliver that information to the user without their requisition or without their demand. So, in anticipation we decide that this user require this kind of information or this information, and we deliver it to the user. Such are called the anticipatory information service. So, the major reason of providing such service is exponential growth of literature, interdisciplinary nature of research, and difficulties faced by the researcher in following the updates in their field. Because there is exponential growth of information, and it is very difficult for the researchers to follow the updates in their field. For instance, for a library information science professionals, it is very difficult to understand what is being published by the other librarians all around the world. So, it is a exponential growth of the information, exponential growth of literature in LIS field. So, we need a LIS researcher also need an anticipatory information services where he can get updates about what is happening in his field, what is new tools and technologies are coming up. So, that anticipatory information service plays a very crucial role in conducting a successful research in higher educational institutions. So, this type of service usually provide on a trial basis initially and later regularly after satisfactory feedback of the user. So, that we have to keep in mind that your library can start a trial basis anticipatory service to they can start providing the service to the user, and when the user is satisfied with anticipatory service, then library can make it a regular service in the library. These are the anticipatory information services. So, there are various types of anticipatory information services. First type is current awareness type. So, this type of service help the users abreast of current development in their field. respective field of interest. This type of service are provided to user by collecting the current information published in primary sources, and after compilations the information is disseminated to the user. The aim of this service is to meet the current information needs of the user. Various type of current information services are as follows, like current awareness list, title announcement list, selected dissemination, research in progress bulletin, and newspaper clipping service. So, current awareness type means this type of service help the user to appraise the current development in their respective field, like a defense scientist need an updates about what is happening in other defense labs, what are the new equipments or what are the new weapons are coming in the market. So, this is the defense scientist information, current information needs. So, we can there are various types of current information service. For instance, current awareness list. Here, like library add various document in their library collections, and we send just simply to the title and the author name and accession number of the the books added in the library collections. So, this called of current awareness service is called the accession list. So, we provide accession list to the users. So, this is one type of current awareness service. Another type of title announcement, for instance, if library add a new title in the library collection or library subscribe a new journal in the library. So, this title announcement is also a one type of current awareness service. Another type of current awareness service called the selective dissemination of information, we call it SDI. There is one problem in current awareness list, that we provide everything, whatever we add in our library collection we send to our library users as a current awareness. And for instance, library has added 1000 books in last 1 month. So, we will send all the 1000 titles to our library user. However, in selective dissemination information, which is more precise, we select the document matching the interest to the users, and those documents only we send to the documents. There is a major limitation of current awareness list is sometimes user do not go through the list, entire list, because a list is so long, it is very difficult for the user to go through each and every accession number, each and every title. Selective dissemination is also one kind of current awareness service, where we match the user interest with the document, and then those documents which are matching to the interest of the library user, we send it to the user, sometime through the email, sometime through by post, or sometime various other modes. So, that is called the selective dissemination of information. We will discuss in detail this SDI service later. So, another current awareness service is called the research in progress bulletin. So, it is very difficult for the researchers to follow the progress done by other researchers in various other organizations. So, library also provide the research in progress bulletin, wherein the library will list down the various projects being conducted in other higher educational institutions. They will sort out, or they will arrange those projects on the basis of subject. They will also arrange it on the basis of keywords. They can also arrange it on the basis of the institutions, and then they send a bulletin, research in progress bulletin, to the researchers. So, this is called the research in progress bulletin. This helps the researchers to understand what is happening in their field, who are the researcher doing the similar research in other institutions, and what they have done so far, what kind of method they have been following, what kind of results they are getting, what kind of impact they are making. So, what are the advantages of that research, what are the limitations they have been facing. So, all these they list down one by one in the research in progress bulletin. So, research in progress bulletin is very much helpful for the researchers to make an impact in their field, because for the research it is very crucial to understand what is happening in their field, what other researchers are doing. This kind of information help them to understand their studies better. This kind of research also help bulletin also help, this kind of services also help the researchers to avoid duplication of research. Duplication of research is a major problems in higher education institution, because if the two researchers are doing a similar kind of research, it is a totally wastage of time, totally wastage of manpower and money. So, research in progress bulletin help us to avoid duplication of research also, and that is very crucial. But generally this kind of research in progress bulletins are prepared by the funding agency, for instance the ICSSR, Indian Council of Social Science Research, CSIR and various other funding agency, DBT, DST. So, these agencies generally provide research in progress bulletins, so that the new researchers, those who apply for the research project, they can avoid the duplication of the research proposals, and the new and original research can be conducted in higher educational institutions. So, this is very vital and very crucial for the libraries to provide research in progress bulletin. Library can have their own research in progress bulletin. For instance, a big university where there are hundreds of departments and thousands of faculties are working, thousands of researchers are working. This research in progress bulletins really help them to understand. They also, this research in progress bulletin also help in collaborations. You can, when through the research in progress bulletin we can understand who are the researchers working in this area, and it gives us a chance to collaborate with the right researchers, so that fruitful results can be obtained from the research studies. So, that is another type of current awareness service. Another type, the one more type of research current awareness service is the newspaper clipping service. In newspaper clipping service, we prepare a clips of the news, and we compile them on the basis of subject. We compile them on the basis of the interest of the researchers, and we send it to the researchers. So, newspaper clipping service is another type of current awareness service. Sometimes libraries provide a current awareness service related to their institutional news. If any institutional news is coming in the newspaper, they provide such kind of service to the authorities, so that they can know what kind of information is being published in newspaper about their institutions. So, current awareness service is also this newspaper clipping service is also has a significant impact in the institutions. So, the main characteristics of current awareness service is that in these titles of books, journal articles are provided, but not the abstract or any gist. So, you have to keep in mind, in current awareness service we do not provide a gist of the documents, we only provide the title, who published it, from where it has published, on which journal it has published, the citation of that paper or the research study we provide in current awareness service, but we do not provide the gist or abstract. No gist is including along with the title. The service covers the broader subject area in a particular subject area. Consequently, it is difficult for the user to determine the relevance of article related to their study, because they have to scan the entire list of title. As I have already discussed, that is very difficult for the researcher sometime to go through the entire list of the articles, because some of the article may not interest to the researcher, and they are totally irrelevant to the researcher. So, it is sometimes it is very difficult for the researcher, and gist is also not there. Sometimes title is very misleading. Title is relevant to the research study, but it is misleading. It does not convey on which topic this research paper is all about. So, that is another problem with the current awareness service. Therefore, to counter such problems, selective dissemination information services provided by the libraries, in which item matching to the interests of user are delivered. SDI is a personalized current awareness service. So, to overcome the current awareness service, library also provide the selective dissemination of informations, where we provide a profile of the documents, we also provide a profile of the researcher, and then we match those profiles, and the document which match to the user profile, we deliver those documents to the users. There is one more difference between current awareness and SDI is, in current awareness we just give a list of the document. However, in SDI we give the full document to the researchers. Sometime we libraries Xerox those document, or in sometime we deliver through a full text document in electronic format. So, that is another major difference. So, now you need to understand the background of SDI, how the SDI was started, who started it. The SDI was conceptualized in 1960 by H.P. Luhan, in which newly received items in the library are matched with the interest of the users as per their profile. Subsequently, those items are delivered to the user. Luhan stated that SDI is that service within an organization which concern itself with machine assisted channelizing of new item of information from various sources to those point within the organization where the probability of usefulness in connection with current work of interest is high. So, SDI has 6 component that you need to understand. It has a user profile, it has a document database, it has a matching mechanism, and then we notify those documents which match with the user profile and the document profile, and we also sort the feedback of the users. And here feedback is very important. If sometime user is not satisfied with the responses or with the document received in SDI, then users can give a feedback that I don't for instance I am giving you an example. For instance, user need only electronic form of document, he does not need print form of document, and through feedback library stand can understand what kind of format they required in SDI service. So, feedback mechanism is very important, and sometimes we have to modify the profile also, like researcher interest also change time to time, they gain interest in some other area, and that in that scene we have to modify the profile of the researchers. And for the in the case of format, like a researcher need format only in electronic, then we have to change the document profile also. We have to mention in document profile that researcher need only the electronic form, or if the researcher need only document in print form, we have to mention it specifically. So, these components are very important. These 6 components play a very crucial role, and feedback should be followed by the library staff time to time. If feedback mechanism is poor, we cannot improve the SDI service. So, feedback is here is the key to improve the SDI service in any research or academic library. So, that you have to keep in mind. Sometimes libraries receive feedback through online mode, or sometimes they conduct survey, face to face interviews also library can conduct, or simply they can have their own mechanism, customized mechanism in the library. So, feedback you have to keep in mind. So, another type of service is anticipatory service called condensation type. In this type of service, the content of the document are condensed, summarized, so that user can identify the relevant contents relating to their area of research. This type of service also empowers the user to scan the large number of documents in shortest time. So, what happen in this condensation type? We try to condense, we try to give gist of the document to the users, and the type of service in condensation types are indexing and abstracting service, digest service. In indexing, the analysis is done on the basis of subject, and in the subject analysis, in abstract analysis is done on the basis of content. So, that you have to keep in mind, that indexing, when we do indexing, we do it on the basis of the subject. However, in abstracting, we do it on the basis of the content itself. The entire content we have to keep in mind. So, that is another type of anticipatory information services, condensation type. So, here in abstracting services are very popular nowadays. Interestingly, majority of these proprietary vendors provide abstract of their database free of cost. The user can get the abstract without any credential. Even if their institution are not subscribing those resources, at least you can access the abstract of the documents, which can give an idea which document are relevant to their intern, and subsequently the user can submit their request to the library staff to procure those document in the library. So, that is you have to keep in mind. Library also provide various type of customized condensation type services. For instance, in SDI, though library provide a full text document, but they can, along with the full text document, library can prepare extended abstract. So, that instead of going through the full document, they can read the extended abstract of the document. Similarly, library can also give various abstracting service. They can start about the various policies, various schemes, various such proposals being invited by funding agency. They can prepare a gist of the calls they can prepare a abstract of the eligibility, they can prepare the abstract of what kind of project can be accepted by the funding agencies. So, that is another possibility. The library can have their own abstracting service. There are various numerous instances, like in news clipping service, instead of providing full news, library can have a condensation type services. They can provide a gist of the news to the users. So, that is a another type of anticipatory service called reader advisory service. In this type of service, libraries inculcate the reading habit of the user. Services are provided by schools and public libraries. This service help the users to select the right book and help in meeting the reading habits. So, information literacy, another anticipatory services provided by the libraries. SLIP defined information literacy is knowing when and why you need information, where to find it, and how to evaluate, use and communicate it in ethical manner. And similarly, American Library Association has also defined information literacy is a set of abilities requiring individual to recognize when information is needed and have the ability to locate, evaluate and use effectively the needed information. So, information literacy program also library conduct in anticipation, and the major objective is so that user can discern which kind of information they need, which kind of information they do not need. So, it is help them to equip so that they can get the information their own. They are not dependent on a library, they can search the databases, they can search the library tools and techniques efficiently and effectively. So, information literacy is also provided by the libraries. So, there are various web based services are provided by the libraries, such as library website libraries create, access to database they give, access to e-journal they provide, and access to the various coursewares also library provides. So, another type of anticipatory information is, we can call it a virtual reference service. So, virtual reference service that facilitate the libraries and patrons to communicate with each other in real time through the internet, by email, chat or instant. So, reference service is requested and provided over the internet, usually via email, instant messaging or web based submission form, usually answered by librarians in reference department of a library. So, virtual reference service, here librarian does not give service face to face, they provide it virtually, and that can be through various apps or that can be through various programs, and they can also submit through users can also submit the request online. So, there are two type of virtual reference service called asynchronous virtual reference service, which we provide through emails and web form, and another is synchronous virtual reference service, which libraries provide through instant messenger, video conferencing, chat and voice over IP. So, that is a virtual reference service types. So, there are various advantages of virtual reference service, that it eradicate the mishearing problems. It in this type of reference service, librarian can conduct reference interview on the spot by exchanging series of short messages to get better idea what the user want. So, that is a advantage. Another advantage is that it helps for those with hearing and speaking problems. So, that is another advantage of virtual reference service. Librarian can contact the user online, and question of user can be transferred to the participating libraries. So, there is another very interesting aspect of virtual reference services providing through collaboration. For instance, the OCLC several years ago started a question point service, and through question point various librarians can join together, they can answer the queries of the users, or they can provide a virtual reference service collectively. So, that question point is one service which was started by OCLC. However, now the question point has been sold by OCLC or it has been taken over by some other agency. So, there are other disadvantages also. Disadvantages of virtual reference services are like librarian provide link to the document or suggest to go to the link, web link, however cannot take the user to the document. So, that is one problem of virtual reference service, that librarians can't take the users to the document itself, or can't understand their emotional feelings of the user, what kind of urgency they have, the body language the librarians can't understand. So, that is one disadvantages, one of the disadvantages of the virtual reference service. Another disadvantage is that it takes more time because sometimes it is very difficult for librarians to understand the query of the users. Sometimes the user's language typing style is different, writing style is different, user is slow in writing and the internet is very slow, librarians is getting the query very slowly. So, that is another disadvantage. User might not be patient sometime because user want everything instant and they log out from the service. So, that is another disadvantage. As we discussed that OCLC now has OCLC question point has now been taken by SpringShare, and now this service is called the LibAnswer platform. However, the OCLC question point platform is still working, but it will over the years down the years it will be taken by the LibAnswers platform. So, that is a there are other value added services also library can provide, like RDA based metadata library can have, web opaque library can provide, library can also have web 2.0 compliant resources to reach out the users. Robust and speed of access, browsing services, response speed are the key of value added service. So, that you have to keep in mind that the service should be robust, speed should be fast, and the browsing and other responsive. Library should add value to the service, and there are various value added services being provided by the libraries. For instance, the discovery services are being started by the libraries. Libraries are also now providing the remote access for e-resources, so that the user can access e-resources anywhere, anytime. And the discovery service not only gives access to the proprietary resources which libraries are subscribed resources, the discovery services also facilitate the user to access the open access resources simultaneously. So, these kind of value added services are the key of the success of any information service of the libraries. So, you also have to start marketing of a library service to get success. Libraries and information centers should practice benchmarking so as to be conversant with the best practices and internationalization. Feedback mechanism to improve the service time to time is the success mantra. Technology driven retrieval system as well as digital reference services help in user satisfaction. So, librarian should should be open minded to adapt new tools and technology, so that they can provide the robust services to the library user. So, as we discussed in our last talk, part 1 of information services, that while formulating an information services in library, you should keep in mind the 5 laws of Ranganathan, and Ranganathan stated that books are for use. Every reader should get his or her book. Every book should get its readers, and we have to save the time of the users, and library is a growing organism. So, you have to keep in mind that we have to provide the information service pinpointedly, we have to provide the information services exhaustively, and we have to provide the information services as fast as possible, as early as possible you should get the document. So, expeditiously is also the key. We should provide as early as possible. We should keep in mind the speed of the information service. We should not take the more time of the user to deliver the documents. So, these things we have to keep in mind while providing the anticipatory information services in our institutions. So, with this I thank you for your patient listening. Thank you very much.